Ready, we can start with this event, Dreaming About Studying in Europe, Your Future Begins in Milan, organized by Docsity in partnership with IULM University. Tonight we have three speakers with us. Thank you very much for being here. Maria Castiglioni, which is IULM's International Mobility and Recruitment Officer. We also have the pleasure to have here with us Theodora Radovic, which is a student from Corporate Communication and Public Relations. And we also have with us Riri Ndiani Febria, a student of Hospitality and Tourism Manager. Thank you very much for being here tonight in this event. And I'll leave you the stage. Enjoy the event.
Thank you very much for your wonderful introduction. And thank you very much to the audience for joining in tonight. I wanted to give you a super brief overview of how tonight's webinar is gonna go. And then, of course, I'll leave the floor to wonderful Theodora and Riri for them to introduce themselves. As Lucia said, I'm Maria and I work in the International Admissions Office at Università IULM. I mainly deal with international students, starting from their very first interest towards IULM up until their graduation. So this is something quite unique about universities as well, is that we follow international students throughout their whole academic career. I've also been a student myself here at IULM many years ago. I studied communication, media, and advertising, and my master's in international relations. But I'm super happy to be, after a while living abroad, to be back working here. Throughout this event, we will, of course, talk with Theodora and Riri about their experience at IULM, their insights on the courses that they're attending, their experience, and also their take on IULM's campus. At the beginning, we will start with a very short introduction, general introduction on the universities, on the university, of course, not much about its history, more about the programs that are offered. And towards the end, we will cover, of course, tuition fees, reductions, scholarship opportunities, and accommodation. So, because I know these are generally the most frequently asked question. I'd like to ask now to Theodora if she wants to introduce herself and tell us just a couple of words about herself.
Hi everyone, I'm Theodora and I'm a second year student in the Bachelor's of Corporate Communication and Public Relations. I'm originally from Serbia, but I've been living in Milan for now a year and a half. And honestly, this is the best decision I ever made. So I've been really pleased with my experience as an international student in Milan, but also more importantly at IULM. So I'm really happy that I can be of help and to tell you about my own experience here.
Thank you very much, Theodora. Grazie mille. And now to Riri.
Okay, hello everyone. My name is Riri, and I'm a second year of master's student of Hospitality and Tourism Management here at IULM. And I'm coming from Indonesia, very far. So yeah, I'm so excited to be here and share my personal and also unique experience. I hope it can be some help for you. And yeah, it's a pleasure to be here.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Thanks to both of you. Something the audience probably doesn't know, that you hear perfect English from the both of them, but I heard them speak in Italian as well, and it's impressive. So many claps to you. If it's all right with you, I'll now share my presentation. We will go through the university's program, and from time to time I will stop and we'll get back to here just to hear Riri's and Theodora's experience as well. In the meanwhile, as Lucia said before, the Q&A session will happen towards the end of the webinar. Just a second, let me share my screen. Here we go. So Università IULM is a university based in Milan, Italy, and it was founded a little over 50 years ago. The focus of the programs that are offered are communication as a core that sticks deep in all the courses that Università IULM offers, tourism, creative industries, and these are exactly the courses that are offered at IULM. As I said, it was founded a little over 60 years ago, 50 years ago, because what communication was back then was to make sure that different cultures could communicate one another. And therefore, the first faculty the university was founded on was the one in interpreting and translation. As of today, we still offer the Faculty of Languages, of Interpreting and Translation. Then the most famous one, the most popular one among Italian and international students is the one in Communication. And the third faculty is the one in Arts and Tourism. Also, something very important mentioning is that Università IULM is a private university, but is not for profit. This means that students do pay tuition fees, but by the end of the academic year, of the solar year, the balance has to be zero, equal to zero. If I have to tell you the reason why I personally chose to study at IULM back in the days, was for the links with the job market. I didn't want to study 7 million years and then be looking for opportunities. I wanted to study for a certain amount of time, a topic that I liked. I love the world of communication and international relations, and then be sure of finding a job that I liked and where I could see myself in the future. And that is exactly what happened to me. Just a few numbers about the university. Right now, the IULM University has a little over 7,000 students, so it's not a massive institution, and this guarantees us to keep a very close relations with students, also not just from by the end of who's working at the university, but of course, and most importantly, between professors and students. One of the question a lot of students ask is how many international students are there at IULM? Well, it varies. You'll see it from the academic offer. Most of the programs that we offer are Italian taught. Therefore, most of the students are Italian. But for what concerns English taught program, more than 25% of international students are enrolled in these degrees. It's a beautiful campus here at IULM. I don't want to make any spoilers. You'll see the picture afterwards, and Riri and Teodora will tell you more about it. But it's very cool because it's almost like an American style campus. All the buildings of the university are basically around one street. So you don't have to travel from one part of the city to the other to attend lectures. And well, the facilities are really cutting edge. Right now, I don't want to bore anyone with rankings, but of course we're scoring quite well, especially in the topics that are more relevant to our faculty, especially the one in the engagement of our students, where we scored pretty high, higher than Oxford. So we are very pleased with the results that we're having also at international level. Last but not least, we are based in Milan. I didn't mention this before, but I would like to ask also to Riri and Teodora their experience about Milan. Generally, I know that once you think of Milan, you immediately think of food, design, fashion, but I think it's also way more than that. I think it's a truly multicultural hub. I'd say is one of the few places in Italy where you can easily survive without speaking Italian, because English, of course, it's well spoken anywhere in Milan. And it's super cool because the city has different areas, and in each area you can decide who you want to be every day. From Monte Napoleone, if you want to be a fashion icon, up until I don't know, Porta Genova, that is super close to the university, where more the light, it's where the nightlife happens. In this case, since she's studying tourism as well, I'd like to ask Riri her take on living in Italy, living in Milan, and how is Milan treating you so far?
Okay, so this is an interesting question because I've never been to Milan before. So it's my first time seeing Milan. And I've been living here 1 year now. And so far, I really enjoy the city. I mean, it's so well connected. It's so easy for me to go everywhere that I want. I just have to take the train, to take the plane, and I just can visit like the most beautiful country and also the most beautiful city in Italy. And then living in Milan, everything is so easy. I mean, like as an international student, of course, I'm so afraid with the language because it's so different with my mother tongue since I'm from Indonesia. But here I can survive with English, but of course I also interested to study the language as well. And I also have the privilege to have my internship back then during the summertime. And then yeah, I did my internship in one of luxury hotel here 5-star hotel with English. So I think that's what I like about IULM. IULM has a broad connection with the leader of the industry here. So we exposed to a lot of opportunities, and I believe that Milan is one of the best cities to live. I love it so far.
Thank you very much, Riri. Grazie mille for your perspective on Milan. And now we can, we can continue, of course, with saying just the fact that, of course, Milan, it's very renowned, but it's located in Lombardy. This is something not many people know, especially from abroad, which is one of the wealthiest region, not just in Italy, but at European level, for what concerns GDP per capita. The three main dimensions of the universities that we're going to cover, the first one is the international dimension. It's something I highly recommend students to consider before enrolling in any institution. You are, of course, interested in what that university specifically has to offer, which kind of programs it offers, but it's also very important to take into account the network that this university entails, both academically as well as professionally. In this case, while studying at IULM, students have the opportunity to attend a semester to acquiring a dual degree in more than 150 partner universities, not just in Europe, but basically from Canada till Australia. So anywhere they like, they can do the Erasmus program, exchange program, their research thesis abroad, but also, of course, their internship. The second sphere that I think we really put a lot of effort into is the guidance one. From counseling, we have dedicated counseling for students. It conducted either in Italian or in English, and it's something also very relevant, especially for first year, for freshmen of bachelor's degree, is the buddy system, the peer tutors program that mainly focus on senior student mentoring newcomers. Sometimes when you're a freshman, you're 18, you're coming to the university, you might feel a little shy to ask directly to a professor that you didn't understand something, that you'd like to have further clarification. In that case, it's ideal for you to get in touch with a peer tutor that can give you their perspective, because they've already been through your same exact path. The third dimension is the career and placement one, is the one I mentioned. The reason why I personally chose to study at IULM, it's something Riri mentioned as well. Right after her first year, she did already her internship in a 5-star hotel here in Milan. In this case, IULM University can benefit of the links with the job market of more than 1,400 partner companies. This doesn't just mean that you can do your internship in more than 1,400 university, but it also means that among your professors, most of your professors aren't just pure academics coming to class and teaching you theory, but they're professionals. They're coming to class to tell you what it feels like to be in the job market. So you're ready for the challenges of tomorrow, right after you graduate. With something I didn't mention before, but while studying at IULM, if you come to Italy with a student visa, you're of course allowed to work. You can work up to 20 hours per week. So you can really benefit from this network that we mentioned. This is how happy our students are. We made, of course, a survey among our students, and this is how happy they are and how easily they found a job right after their graduation, after bachelor's and after master's. One other thing that I think it's worth mentioning, and afterwards I'll ask Teodora for her views on the campus as well. IULM University is located in a very strategical area. We have a dedicated metro station called Romolo IULM, which is the stop exactly right after Porta Genova, where Navigli are. I don't know if anyone in the audience has ever been to Milan. This is something that will be interested in for us afterwards. We have this dedicated metro station, and here on campus, students can find 3 cafeterias, a canteen, a bank, plenty of services completely at their disposal. In this moment, I would like to ask Theodora, since she's staying at the residence as well, to share her perspective on IULM's campus. And while you're talking, Theodora, I will change slides so just so that students can see a little bit of the pictures of the campus as well.
Okay, so yeah, like Maria said, I am currently living in the IULM residence, which is located at the center of the campus. I think my favorite part of the whole campus is the public park that is part of the whole building area. And usually during the summer or like early spring, students have lunches there and it's beautiful. Which is one of the 6 buildings that is part of the structure of the university, and it's the newest one. This is the IULM Fitness Center that recently opened. I think it was last year that they provided services, and they have monthly or yearly plans that you can subscribe to, and it's really convenient because it's at the center of the campus. So after classes, you can maybe go and work out. This is the garden I was talking about. It is a public park, so it is open to the public during the weekday. During the weekends, it is like our little private garden, because if you see the building behind it, that's where I live. So it's like our own little backyard. This is one of the 3 cafeterias. It is the main one. Usually we have lunches there. Their food is really good if anyone is interested. And this is the main building. This is IULM 1, and it's the biggest one. All of my classes personally are held in this building, and it has 5 floors, and it has also 1 cafeteria, 2 libraries. And it is really well equipped, and it is also accessible to students with disabilities. So, and it also has 2 like fountains in front, which is really nice to sunbathe during really nice weather. So I personally love the campus. It's one of my favorite reasons like why I study here. So I'm hoping if anyone comes that you will enjoy it as well.
Thank you. Grazie, grazie Theodora. And thank you also for stating that those are fountains, the one that you see at the bottom, because a couple of years ago in a webinar, I said there were swimming pools and it sounded a bit tricky. You got swimming pools right in front. Can you swim? So thank you for calling them fountain. Great job. And thank you also for describing our campus so well. Sorry, I will just go back, of course, to the core of the presentation. In this case, we're going to cover academics, so the programs that are offered. In this slide, you see the Italian education system. So right after high school, students can attend an undergraduate program, bachelor's degree that will last for 3 years, and they can then continue with a 2-year master's, like the one Riri studied, or a 1-year master. The main difference between 2-year masters and 1-year master, one is the fact that after 2-year masters, you can access a PhD, while after 1-year masters you can't. And the fact that with the 2-year masters you become, you specialize in a sector, while 1-year master are focused and tailored for a profession. Let's see undergraduate programs. Throughout this presentation, we will be focusing on the English taught programs that the university offers. Of course, in the slides, you'll see also the Italian taught ones. So if anyone has questions on the Italian taught degrees that we have, bachelor's, master's, 1-year masters, I will be more than happy to answer all your questions towards the end of the presentation. In this slide, you see that the bachelor's degree that we offer are the perfect mirror of the 3 faculties we mentioned before. We'll start with the one of interpreting and communication. We offer 2 degrees in this case, Italian taught, one in interpreting and communication, and the other one in languages, culture, and digital communication. The language of tuition of this courses is Italian. Students will learn how to interpret and translate from Italian into English and into a second language of their choice. They can choose between French, German, Spanish, Arabic, Chinese. I'm sure I forgot one of the languages, but this is more or less the languages that are offered. The second faculty is the one in communication. In this case, we offer 2 degrees, one fully Italian taught in communication, media, and advertising, which is the one I've attended many years ago. And the second one that is offered either all Italian taught or fully English taught, which is the one in corporate communication and public relations. That we're going to cover in just a second with just a few key facts about the program. And of course, I will ask Theodora for her perspective since she's a current second year student of this course. And the third faculty is the one in arts and tourism. And we offer tourism, management and culture, arts, media and cultural events, as well as fashion and creative industries. As you gathered so far, the English taught degree that we offer is the one in corporate communication and public relations. Just a few facts about this course. It was actually the first ever PR course ever offered in Italy. And something that I think it's quite unique about this course, especially I'm comparing the academic offer to other universities, it's not very common. I'd say it's unique to have among your professors, half of them pure academics and the other half professionals coming from the job market to give you their perspective on it. This makes your stay at IULM and your studies at IULM very practical. From the very beginning, you'll start with group project. The professors are, of course, asking you to, they will pitch you and ask you to create a plan, a business plan, for example, on the relevant topic that they're teaching. And the study plan was created as a progression. So in first year, you will draw down the layers, the basis, the theoretical basis, as you can see here, for example, management. And then in the second year, you'll dig deeper in this subject with marketing research and statistics that will end up in your third year with economics and law, for example. The same thing goes with, for example, corporate communication, that is the core of the course. That is in fact divided into 3 main areas, as you'll see also by analyzing the study plan: management throughout the 3 years, communication as a core of the program, and of course English. You'll start off with professional English 3, and you'll end up in your third year with professional English public speaking. For what concerns corporate communication, for example, in your third year, it will be very practical because you have a workshop. So super hands-on kind of approach in creativity, design, and advertising. I won't bore you any longer with the key facts about the program, but I think it's more relevant for you to hear from Theodora, her perspective on how it feels like to be a corporate communication student.
Okay, like I said, I am a second year student in corporate communication and public relations, and honestly, I've been loving it so far. I don't really have any complaints, so I will praise the course as much as I can. Basically, the thing I like the most is what Maria said, that we have really useful projects that are helpful to actually understand the theory part of the course, and we can apply it to projects or analysis or research papers. I think what helped me the most in the first year was that in both the management and corporate communication classes, we had professionals and guest speakers who would come and actually explain the theory that we were working on, which is basically the most important part, because sometimes theory can be dry and you don't really understand it. Also, our course is very small. There's only 120 people, I think, that attend or something like that. So, and we have a very close relationship with professors. They can sometimes remember your name. And it really feels like they want to help you understand you if you have any problems. So yeah, and from the second year on, we have opportunities for internships, which again is one of the main reasons why I chose the university, because they offer a lot of opportunities to actually apply the knowledge you learn in school. And yeah, I mean, I know maybe some of you know that like Italian class system has a lot of reading, which it does, and it can be sometimes boring. But I think the innovative approach to like how this university organizes the classes really helps and doesn't make it so daunting. So hopefully some of you will like it.
Thank you very much. Grazie, Teodora. Grazie mille. We will now continue with the two-year masters. In this case, we will focus on the two English taught degrees that we have. One is strategic communication and the other one is hospitality and tourism management. I'll go quickly through strategic communication, and then we'll cover hospitality and ask Riri's opinion on, well, actually her perspective on the course she's attended. Strategic communication is a course that was created by actually a survey that we did to our partner companies to see which kind of skills and knowledge they were seeking in students, in freshly graduated master students. And based on the results of this survey, we created this two-year masters. So it's really based on the needs of the job market. It really has an international faculty. A lot of professors are Italian academics, but a lot of them also are coming from abroad. It was created and it's currently also ran by a very varied, I'd say, advisory board. So CEOs, CFOs, CMOs from well-renowned brands from Samsung, Coca-Cola, for example, are in the advisory board of this course. So we can make sure that this course, it's changing every year and adapting to the needs of the job market. While studying strategic communication, you'll learn, of course, the managerial basis, but also the key strategic communication findings to make sure that once you graduate, you're ready for the job market. While studying this course, you can also acquire a dual degree. We have 3 partner universities where you can acquire this kind of diploma. 2 are based in the UK, Huddersfield and Cardiff University. And the third one is in Australia, the University of Western Australia. These are 3 partner universities where you can acquire this dual degree. The second English taught program that we have at master's level, as a two-year master's, is the one in hospitality and tourism management. There are 2 different curricula that you can attend while staying in Italy, of course, if you don't want to acquire a dual degree. The 2 curricula are one in digital technology and data for tourism, and the second one is in sustainable destination management and communication. You can also have the chance while attending this master, as you could do before while attending strategic communication, to acquire a dual degree. In this case, the partner university is the University of Central Florida, based in Orlando, more specifically the Rosen College, which I think is the 2nd or 3rd best hospitality college in the United States. And what I think it's unique, but we'll hear it from Riri afterwards, is that you can really customize your study plan. I was looking through the questions before and I saw what professional aspects can be involved in this program and what are the professional outcomes. The great thing about this program is that you can adapt it to your interests. So whether you want to work for well, in the digital part of tourism, so for booking.com, for example, you can adapt the study plan to that, or you can also specialize in attraction parks, for example, if this is what you're interested in. But let's hear it from Riri.
Thank you, Maria. And I do agree that the course really helped us not only to enter the job market, but also become an entrepreneur, for example, in tourism, because the courses really brought, for example, we also learn despite of, we learn about, for example, accounting and financial management. And then we also learn about critical issues in hospitality and tourism management. And then if we want, we can also maybe learn about some kind of business, because we can personalize our study plan. So that's what I really like about the courses. And I think what I like the most is the combination between the theory and also the project. Like it really helps us to implement the theory in real life practice. For example, we have some project with Accor, for example, one of the global brand in hotel industry. And also, for example, we also work with Manager Italia to valorize one of the destination here in Varese. So it's really fulfilling to see that what you do is also impacting the tourism industry here in Italy. So that's what I love the most about my courses. And then the opportunity that you'll give is also really amazing. For example, during my first year, I also got the opportunity to represent in a sustainable hospitality challenge. It's like a hospitality competition with some participants from Cornell and other hotel top hotel university all over the world. So that's what I love the most about the courses here at IULM. They really give you opportunity to explore your options, and yeah, that's really nice.
Grazie, Riri. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for your perspective as well. We will now see this slide regarding one-year masters. We don't have the time to cover them all, so I'd suggest students from the audience, if they want to take a screenshot of this and then have a look at the one that they might be more interested in, and if they've got any specific question on the programs that are here, I'll be more than happy to answer them afterwards. Continuing on, we're just about to see the admission requirements, tuition fees, scholarship opportunities, and accommodation. So I think everyone had the time to take a screenshot, and we will now cover the admission requirements for bachelor's degree. Fundamental to attend any university in Italy is to have studied at least 12 years from the beginning of elementary school up until the moment you're about to enter university. In some countries, the students study less than 12 years. In that case, the students have the chances to either attend a foundation course. There are a lot of universities, private universities in Milan, but also public universities nearby that offer foundation courses or year zero. Or the other two options that students have is one, to attend 1 year of university in their home country, or the third option would be to acquire an Italian high school diploma. This might be the trickiest one, to be honest. So generally students go either for a foundation course or they attend 1 year of university in their home country. The second fundamental thing is to be proficient in the language the course is taught in. So if a student is interested in attending an English taught degree, in that case, they'll need to be proficient at least at a B2 level in English. If they want to study in Italian, an English taught bachelor or a master degree, they need to be proficient in Italian. We will open application this year from December 12th, 2022. So students that are interested in submitting their application, they can do that after this date via our application platform, which is called apply.iulm.it, as you can see here at the bottom of the screen. From that moment on, the admissions team will take care of you and will guide you through all the steps up until your formal enrollment at IULM. Admission requirements for 2-year masters, very similar to what we saw before. You need to have acquired or are enrolled in the last year of a bachelor's degree. We suggest to study something that it might be connected to what you've studied before, but of course we can be flexible in this regard. What we're really looking for is motivation and aptitude. In this case as well, we will open application on December 12th, and you will be able to submit your application via apply.iulm.it. Any questions on this? Anyway, I'll be more than happy to assist you afterwards. All right, so courses will start generally in September. So you start in December, your application in December 2022 for courses starting in September 2023. You'll have a first semester, then the Christmas break, exams, second semester, and then exams again. But once you're getting closer to your first year, to mid of your first year, we will be showing you, of course, since the beginning, actually, your academic calendar, so you'll know exactly how it will look like your life at IULM. Tuition fees. For bachelor degrees, tuition fees are 8,556 euros divided into 3 installments, one due at enrollment, the second one due in December, and the third one in March of the year afterwards, while 2-year masters cost 9,956 euros per academic year, divided in this case as well into 3 installments. Tuition fees for 1-year masters vary depending on the master and on where you come from. While for that 2-year masters and bachelor's degree, if you're an international student, meaning if your household produces income outside Italy, in this case, this is the flat rate that applies. But we do offer multiple financial aid opportunities. We offer to the most talented students, so purely based on merit, purely based on how good you did during your previous studies, high school for bachelors or bachelors for masters, we'll just be looking at your grade. You can get up to 100% tuition reduction. For what concerns bachelor, the programs that have this kind of reduction are the Italian taught ones, while if you're interested in master, the master in hospitality and tourism management as well offers you the possibility of getting 100% tuition reduction purely based on your grades. We will be converting your grades in the Italian grading system, and generally speaking, they need to be equal or higher than 90 out of 110. So this is the basic criteria. If your grades aren't that high, are just a little lower than this, for any programs that we offer, English taught 1, bachelor, master, doesn't matter, as long as they are 3 years bachelors or 2-year masters, we offer 50% tuition reduction. So you'll be paying half of the prices was sold before. In this case, your grades need to be for bachelors equal or higher than 70 out of 100, and for masters equal or higher than 80 out of 110. I know it's very specific, so if you've got any questions on this, I'll be happy to answer them. These reductions can be summed up, so they can be combined with the regional scholarship. Regional scholarship is a scholarship awarded by the region where Milan is, Lombardy. If you can combine the two, if you get regional scholarship as well, that is based on income, so the income of your household, properties, assets, and so on, and merit, same criteria, you can get full tuition refunds and a grant up to 4,500 euros. So if you have the chance to combine these 2 opportunities, it's great. Well, it's the best financial option that you've got. Accommodation. We offer spots reserved for international students for their first year at the rate of 400 euros a month. You'll be staying in a double room with a private bathroom and of course a shared kitchen. And we've got a very limited number of spots that we can guarantee for international students. When I say very limited, I mean it, there are 10, so not many. In case you're interested in staying at the residence dorms, and you know this for a fact already, make sure you submit your you complete your application as soon as possible in December. If you cannot, of course, complete the application and you come up with the idea, of course, of staying at IULM afterwards, we do collaborate with plenty of partner companies, from Milan Housing to Milan Stanze, Uniplaces, so accommodation providers that help students find accommodation opportunities throughout the city of Milan. These are our contact details. So if you want to stay in touch with us from the admissions team, you can contact us at any of the details here. The email address is admission@iulm.it. The application platform is apply.iulm.it. And the last number that you see, it's a WhatsApp number of the office. And on the other end, you'll be finding me. So if you've got any other questions after the webinar that come to mind, make sure you contact us either via WhatsApp, email, or just by submitting your application. I know we've said a lot of things, but I know also I've seen a lot of notifications that questions were coming in. So I'll be more than happy to meet Theodora and Riri, of course. We will be more than happy to answer them all. I'll stop sharing my screen and yeah.
Thank you very much, Maria, Riri, and Theodora, for such a wonderful presentation. As a matter of fact, yes, we do have a lot of questions. Some of them, they were answered during the presentations. We have a couple of questions about scholarships and financial aid. I guess we pretty much covered that. I don't know, Maria, if there's anything else to add on that matter. Or if we do have...
Just regarding tuition reductions and scholarship opportunities, the key thing regarding this is to apply early in advance, because of course we don't have countless reductions available for all students. So in case a student is interested, I know I sound boring, but if someone comes up with the idea of getting a scholarship in March, it might be too late. The best time to apply for scholarship opportunities, reductions available, is to do it as soon as a student is applying. I can't stress this enough. This even more if a student is interested in accommodation.
Okay, thank you very much. Do we have a contact email or a link the students can reach for further questions about the admission process that we can share on the chat?
Absolutely, yes. It's I'll write it here. It's admission at IULM.it. I did the general chat, sorry.
Okay, thank you very much. I will just share it with everyone for further questions. Okay, now everyone can check the chat and we'll find the contact email to get further information about the admission process. We do have a couple of questions in that as well. We have one question here that I guess one of our students tonight will be able to answer. Good afternoon, I have a question. What are the professional outcomes of an hospitality degree?
I think more or less we covered it before. Since they are current student, it might be a bit tricky for them to properly answer on what's happening after their graduation. I think also Riri already shared a bit of her experience, but I don't know, Riri, if you want to add something more.
Yeah, I think you already covered it, Maria. From my experience, I think the opportunity from hospitality and tourism management is limitless right now, because yeah, we learn about a lot of things. You can work in the DMOs, you can work in the hotel industry, you can work in the cruise, theme park. Like, I think, yeah, being a student of hospitality and tourism management, definitely you will get like more exposure to a lot of jobs.
Thank you very much, Riri. We have another question. Can you try to apply to more than one program?
I would be interested in knowing if it's a bachelor or a master that a student is interested in. But yes, in general, yes, a student can apply for more than one program at a time.
Okay, thank you very much, Maria. About the masters, we have a question saying, do you need work experience for the master, and can you help me to find a job after?
Absolutely no work experience is required before attending a master. And absolutely yes to the second question, the university helps students find internship or placement opportunity afterwards. I don't want to bore everyone with my experience, but I did my master here at IULM, and the university found for me an internship opportunity in Australia, where I completed my master. I lived in Australia for 3 years, and then I decided to come back, and the university helped me find a job opportunity once I traveled back. So I think this is something quite unique among universities, to do such things for their students and to help them really achieve their goals professionally, especially.
Okay, thank you, Maria. We have another question. This is regarding the strategic communication But this participant is asking if the university is in partnership with the course in strategic communication support the stay abroad.
I'm not sure I fully understood the question. I believe the student is asking whether the university funds the students to stay abroad. In this case, it depends. For dual degrees, there is an extra charge that the partner university applies for students to attend 2 semesters there. In case a student is interested, on the other end, to attend, for example, the Erasmus program at a partner university, they can do so, and that won't be an extra charge. If I understood correctly the question, though, if the question was something else, I do apologize, and I'll be happy to answer back.
Thank you, Maria. We do have some questions for our testimonial students tonight. Does the hospitality course include practical parts?
I think Riri gave her stake on this already, on how much practical part there is involved in the course. I don't think there is anything else to add, but I don't know, Riri, if something comes to mind afterwards as well, you can add it whatever you like. One thing that she mentioned before that I think it's very interesting is that with this course, you'll get the basic knowledge, not just to work within the hospitality and tourism management field as an employee, but also they will teach you how to become an entrepreneur within this field. And it's well, something priceless, I'd say.
Thank you very much, Maria. This is very useful for maybe the students that they joined the event maybe a little bit later, just to make sure everyone gets the information on the course, and of course there's always something else to comment on or to add. On this note, we have a question about the public relation course, if it includes public exercises in public speaking and how to do networking.
I don't think that Theodora is yet to the public speaking part, but I know you do a lot of presentation throughout the course. So I meant professional English public speaking because it's going to be next year. But if you want to say more about your experience at the moment.
Yeah, we do have a mandatory public speaking workshop in the 3rd year. So I don't currently have the experience in it, but we do hold like a lot of presentations in front of a class or just in front of the professor, depending on the class. And they do give notes on how to be more attentive and more persuading in your presentations. So if that's something that you're looking for, yes, there is practice in that.
Okay, thank you, Theodora. We have another question. It is in Spanish, but I will translate it in English right away. We have a student that says that he or she doesn't speak fully English or Italian yet, but is doing courses to learn these languages. If this could be an obstacle for the application or to get financial aid.
To get financial aid, not that much. It's going to be an obstacle for the application because there are admission tests for the courses and they're held in the language the course is taught in. So if a student doesn't feel confident enough in English or Italian, it will not be beneficial for them to go through the admission procedure. So I'd say to first focus on the languages, strengthen them as much as possible, and afterwards focus on the application.
Thank you, Maria.
Scholarship and financial aid, they have nothing to do with the language.
Okay, good to know. Thank you very much. We have another question about the pros and cons of being a foreign student in Milan. I don't know, really, and Theodora, if there is something you would like to add on that matter.
Okay, well, the pros is that there are a lot of international people in Milan and companies, so there is working opportunities in English. So you don't have to worry about knowing Italian when you first come here, but I do think that is really helpful to learn it when you actually arrive here, because it does open more doors. So I don't really have a con, so I don't think I can be helpful in that, because I've been loving my experience here. So yeah, that's basically it.
Okay, I totally agree with Theodora. I mean, if you compare the pro and cons, absolutely, we have more pro than the cons. For example, we learn a new culture, new language. We expose with more opportunities as an international students here. So it definitely open a new whole new life for you, and also opening more doors for your opportunity in your career next up after you graduate. Maybe for the cons, you can experience I don't know, culture shock because during my first time here, of course, like, because the culture is so different with mine, so I definitely had the culture shock. But what I can assure you, at IULM, the international office is so helpful. I remember the first time I came here, Maria, I talk a lot with Maria, like, she makes sure that I have a great time here. She invite me to lunch just to hear my perspective as an international student. So at IULM, of course, you will feel lonely at first time because you're leaving your home country, you are leaving your family, but I can assure you that IULM really offers you like the best experience, and they're so helpful. So yeah, don't be afraid of that change.
Thank you very much, Miriam and Theodora. It's very nice to hear that you have such a good experience, and to have your reviewing firsthand live while you're still experiencing your university path on IULM University. So there are a couple more questions about scholarships and the application process, but I remind you, we put the email address for the admissions office. You can, if you have further questions, you can send an email, and the IULM team will be ready to help you with that. And I don't know if there's anything else you would like to add about the internships. If the different courses, bachelor's or master's especially, they have some partnerships that enhance the possibility of getting an internship.
Yes, well, internships are mandatory at master's level, while they aren't at bachelor's, because generally students at bachelor's are tracing down their theoretical knowledge as well, so they can really focus on their studies. We do encourage students to think about studying abroad opportunities while doing their bachelor's, and focusing more on professional opportunities while doing their 2-year master's. This is more or less the idea, but of course we are more than happy to assist students in whatever path they want to pursue, whatever goals they have in mind.
Thank you, Maria. We have one question. Just let me know if this is something we can answer tonight, or we can ask the student to send an email to the admissions office. He says, I'm from Ghana. I hold a 3-year higher national diploma in tourism management. Would it be possible to do the 2-year master's program?
Thank you for the question. We cannot, of course, analyze your documents via Zoom. So I do encourage you to send over an email to admission@iulm.it, sending through your documents, so we can ask the registrar's office to pre-evaluate them and see whether it would be suitable for you to attend the master, if all the documents are in place. That's the only thing.
Yes, of course, as Maria was saying, if you're an international student planning to study abroad, organization is key, and always to be informed and to start your applications in advance. Is that right, Maria?
Absolutely, yes.
Because the bureaucracy can take time, so just for you to make sure that you're going. I think
that's what Riri was referring to as well. Italian bureaucracy, among the
maybe not the best perk of studying in Italy, but it is a wonderful place to live in, to study in. So just start in advance and make sure you won't miss this wonderful experience. I don't know, Maria, Riri, and Theodora, if there's anything else you would like to add before we finish the presentation.
Not from my end. I would like to thank Docsity, Theodora, and Riri for sharing with me this journey, and to all the audience for staying with us tonight. It has been amazing, and I recommend students that have questions to don't be shy, don't hesitate. We will be more than happy to assist you. That's all from me.
Thank you, Maria. Thank you very much, Riri and Theodora, for your time tonight and for letting us know about the wonderful experience of studying in Milan and the IULM University. And thank you to all the students that joined us tonight and who gave us their time to do this presentation. So if you have any further questions, of course, you can write to admissions@iulm.it. And we will be waiting for you to join us in the next events organized by Docsity in partnership with IULM University. Thank you very much and have a wonderful evening.
Grazie. Bye. Ciao.